Hi, my name is Cynthia Bauer, and I am the founder and director of Kupenda for the Children. I remember when I saw Eric's video, I'd heard about him because I know that he had been in a Kupenda 5K and he'd won. But later, my friend Becky had shown me this video of Eric doing an Easter service. So I happened to see the video and just the passion and the way he articulated his love for his sister. I took that video and I sent it to our director in Kenya, and the first thing he said is, when can this guy come to Kenya? We need him to come here. We need him to talk to our pastors. We need him to talk to our teachers. We need him to come here. And just recently, I happened to attend a workshop with Johnny and friends doing education courses on disability ministry. And I thought this would be a perfect thing for us to teach in Kenya. And I just think the timing worked out really well that Eric's ready. And I'm excited that Tania's coming because we have some major problems with behaviors of children with disabilities and just the teachers knowing what to do to help them. And so my hope is that Tania will be able to work with another friend of ours who's coming to Kenya, who also has a similar experience and works with people with disabilities, that they'll be able to work in the school while Eric and my friend Carissa, who is also a minister of special needs in Maryland, that they'll be able to work with me to actually teach this course to these Kenyans for 5 days. And I'm really excited about it, and I think that what is going to come next, I can't even imagine, but I feel like it's going to be really, really good.
Growing up with a sister in a wheelchair wasn't at all strange to me. I never realized that it was unusual. My parents would just bring her along everywhere we went, and she would always do the things that we would do, and I never really thought about it.
I remember the first time we were going to fly out to Minnesota for me to meet Eric's family, and I was really excited to meet Angie. I had heard a lot about her through Eric, and I also remember being nervous. I haven't had a lot of exposure to people with physical handicaps, and I wasn't sure if I would communicate effectively with Angie, if I would say the right things or do the right things. Shortly after meeting her, I realized that I didn't have anything to worry about. She made it easy. She made me feel comfortable, and especially watching Eric and his family interact with Angie, there was no difference. It was as if she didn't have a physical handicap.
She loved to give to people even more than she liked to receive gifts. And so for the last couple of Christmases, I got her donations to organizations that work with children with disabilities. For her last Christmas, I made a donation to Kupenda in her name. And Angie was so excited that there would be children in Kenya who would be blessed because of her. And so after Angie passed away, I knew that I wanted to run a marathon in memory of her. And it just made sense to do it with Kupenda because it was the last gift that I had given Angie. And so I decided to run the 2012 Boston Marathon in memory of Angie and to raise money for Kupenda. And now we're really excited to actually go to Kenya and to bless these children and to love them because of Angie. My dad had nicknames for everybody. He still does. He calls me Meatball. He calls my sister Jackie Dingbat, and he always called Angie Boogie. And I'm not exactly sure why, but he would always say when we were kids, he would talk about what Angie would be like in heaven and what she would do there. He would talk about her playing basketball or singing in a choir or dancing. And then after Angie passed away, I was out running one time and I was thinking about her nickname Boogie and what we called her, and I started to connect that to dancing, and then it suddenly became clear to me that what I would call what I did in memory of her, I would call it BoogieForever, because Angie will be dancing forever in heaven.
When I first heard about this possibility of us going to Kenya with Kupenda, I was excited, but I wasn't sure what my role would be in it. After talking with Cindy the first time to gather some more information about the specifics on the trip, I learned that the school that they have for these children also includes working with children that have emotional needs and mental health needs. And I started thinking over my history of the experiences I've had working in the mental health field, and I was encouraged at the prospect of bringing some of the skills that I have learned throughout my years in the mental health field to Kenya, and feeling like I could potentially have something to offer.
One thing I'm really excited about is meeting a girl named Zahabu. Before the marathon, I had asked Becky and I'd asked Cindy if there was someone that they had met in Kenya who was most like my sister Angie, and they both thought of this girl. And so during the marathon, I had her name written on my wrist, and I prayed for her and thought about her during the race. And so I'm just looking forward to getting the chance to meet her in person.
Christ spent a lot of his time with people that were on the fringes of society, that were outcasts, and that the society at large didn't accept. It was clear that that was a priority. A trip like this will allow us the opportunity to be God's hands and God's feet